the biggest mistake that countries can make and do make is they find a highly successful formula, frequently based on sort of rapid export-driven growth, based on low labor costs, and try to stick with it too long. Very successful formula, do it for it. Nothing works forever. So China is in the middle income transition, just starting. Its middle income transition is where you have to let things die. It's where Schumpeter's creative destruction produces the destruction part. And all of their predecessors have gone through it in one form or another, but there's only 5 economies of those 13 I mentioned that have actually sustained the high growth through this transition, which is when your incomes are in the range $4,000 to $10,000. After that, you're going to double once and you're in the OECD category. And they're all in Asia, and it's never been done. They're Japan, Taiwan, Korea, and then the 2 city-states, Hong Kong and Singapore. And it's never been done at this scale before. And that is the essence of the structural change in the economy that goes with that, and the shifting around the demand side. We could spend all morning on this, is what China is going to have to sort of accomplish. And they're going to have to let market forces work and determine more of the outcomes. They're going to have to fix the financial system. They're going to have to give households more income and lots of stuff. And I'm disinclined to bet against them. There have been contrarians who bet against China for every year in the last 31 years, and they lost a lot of money. So it's probably not the best time to bet against them. But this is a really hard transition. I did watch it fairly carefully when I was younger in Korea. It occurred in the mid-1980s. It was brilliantly handled. The Koreans had a very intrusive government targeting things. They realized it wouldn't work. They started investing in technology and people, turned it over to market forces, recognized they had to look more like us, and it took off. It wasn't perfect. There were flaws that showed up in the late 90s. But so that's point one. Point two is developing countries don't do what we told them to do for many years on the financial side. Float your currency, open the capital account, because it doesn't work. The financial sectors aren't mature enough, and we've stopped telling them that as of the 97-98 crisis. But that raises an issue. I mean, so we ran de facto, with lots of shouting back and forth, a hybrid global economy for much of the post-war period, dominated by the advanced countries. After Bretton Woods, we floated exchange rates, had open capital accounts, and the developing countries did something else. Well, why did that work? Well, my answer to that is because the developing countries weren't big enough to destabilize the system for most of that period. But now they are, with China in the lead. And so the system that we've relied on won't work. It's probably true that we can't just expand, the floating exchange rate market determined, open capital account system, because in the developing countries it still doesn't work. And so we're going to have to invent a new system, and the people in finance and macro know this.